Hey neurodivergent TikTok, autistic friends, ADHD friends. Stitch.
I have no idea how to go about this. And I'm not gonna do a 60-second video because this is way too long. Okay, so like my favorite book is, and like other series is like Higurashi and then Umineko. But let me just talk about some of the favorite themes that I have. So in Higurashi, some of my favorite themes, I don't know. One of the things that I like is like all the female characters are written so well. I love Rika, I love Rena, I love Shion. Like they're great. And Sadako in the latest Higurashi, I love her too. Like Higurashi deals with some dark topics and stuff, such as abuse. Like they also have like fun hijinks where they like always play games and it's all about friendship and all that stuff. And I'm a sucker for that because like I like Land Before Time and it's also like friendship stuff and I like friendship stuff. And it deals with like all kinds of messy emotions and I love messy emotions. It's just imagery, okay? I just love how you get to see in the characters' heads, especially later on when they switch to like the villain's point of view. I just love seeing how they think, how they feel. I love it. I love every single bit of it. Every time I read them, it makes me cry. A lot of people like to like dunk on like Higurashi and stuff because it's like, oh, it's dark and gory or whatever. I'm not in it for that. I'm in it for like the feels. I love how everybody just cares about each other so much. Like, I love nearly all of the cast, really. Actually, they even make it later on in the story that you actually can like all of the cast, including the original characters who were not written to be even likable in the first place. Next, we got Umineko. It's a mystery novel that slowly turns into a fantasy novel. It is so meta-layered. Like, it mixes reality and fantasy so much, you start not being able to tell between the lines, and people have to, like, ask questions, and people have to answer questions to each other. Everybody has to talk with each other because, like, it's confusing. It has a lot of things in Higurashi I mentioned before, except it's much darker. Like, you want to explore abuse and all that stuff? It has that. Are you a lonely kid who delves into escapism? This story heavily will pander to you for that. It definitely did for me. Like, it's heavy, there's like witches and everything, but the witches dress all fancy. One thing about Ryukishi, the author, is that it's always slow at first, but then when it starts hitting the end of the story for sure, it's just bang. Oh, they're very long to read. They take forever, but it's worth it for me. I hate reading. Oh, it also has this enemies to lovers thing. Like, the author talks about romance in the story. And it gets super meta with talking between the relationships between the reader and the author, and I just love that it talks about that process and stuff. Like, there's so many freaking philosophies jam-packed into his work. I could never get tired of not talking about Umineko and Higurashi. It's just that I'm an art TikTok. I'm not sure anyone would care. Anyway, yeah. That's my 3 minutes.